Welcome, everyone. We have a very special interview with one of our Reverend Bishops. Your Eminence, we are very honored and blessed and thankful that you took time out of your busy schedule to speak with us and to share with the CYC channel. As you are perfectly aware, many of the viewers are youth from the land of immigration, and are interested to know more about you. As a start, if you could just so kindly introduce yourself with your title.
I would like first to say that I have met with CYC before in Egypt, but this is my first meeting in the United States. So I am now in the lands of immigration. I am Metropolitan Bishoy, Metropolitan of Damiet, Kafr Sheikh and Barari, and the Bishop of the Monastery of San Damiana, the head of the nunnery there, and I am the General Secretary of the Holy Synod of the Coptic Orthodox Church. Also, I am a member of the Executive Committee of the World Council of Churches and the Permanent Committee on Consensus and Collaboration, and the Plenary Commission on Faith and Order of WCC, World Council of Churches, and also the Standing Committee of the same commission. So I mentioned this because this is also connected to some ecumenical activities in my duty when I represent the Coptic Orthodox Church in ecumenical dialogues with different denominations.
I'm actually very glad that you mentioned all these responsibilities and all these titles. We will be touching over them. But first, I wanted to take you a little back, and I wanted to pick your memory on the time before you actually were a monk. And I actually heard, and I was told that you held a prestigious career as a professor in the College of Engineering. And if you could just tell us how and why you were drawn into monastic life.
Engineering is a beautiful study and beautiful job. Also, philosophy is closely linked with engineering and geometry and calculus. Philosophy is also linked with theology. But when I entered monastic life, at that stage I was serving in the church as Sunday school teacher, and I was touched by the model of life of His Holiness Pope Shenouda III when he visited Alexandria, where I was living at that time, and also taught by Father Bishoy Kamel and Father Tadros Yaqub Malati. They taught us in our meetings in the church in Sporting in Alexandria many times about monastic life and about the Holy Fathers, whether the Holy Fathers of our church or the ecumenical church, the one church. Now, seeing that the destiny of a person, his eternal destiny can be affected by the type of life which he chooses for himself. So although I was enjoying my profession, teaching in the Faculty of Engineering in Alexandria, and finishing my Master of Science degree in mechanical engineering, but at the same time I felt that living in a monastery would be more beneficial for my eternal life. So that's why I departed. Also, I visited the monastery several times. I admired the life of monks, monastic life, and encouraged by my spiritual father, who was Father Tadros Jacob, and also by His Holiness Pope Shenouda when he was the Bishop of Education at that time. In the year 1968, I went to Deir Surian in Wadi Natrun in Egypt, where Pope Shenouda was staying at that time in the monastery for about 8 months, but he was a bishop of education. So he became my spiritual father till now.
Which monastery was the first one that you joined? Was that
The Saint Mary, Mother of God, Theotokos, which is called the Syrian monastery, because some Syrian monks lived in that monastery historically. So it is called the Syrian monastery. Of course, it is an Egyptian monastery, but some centuries ago, monks came from Syria and lived with the Coptic monks, and there were two churches, one for the Syrian and the other for the Copts. So its famous name is Deir Surian.
how long? I don't know if your eminence mentioned how long you stayed in that monastery.
I entered on the 30th of May 1968, and I was ordained as or consecrated as bishop on the 24th of September 1972. So about 4 years and a half. I was eager to continue, but it came to happen that my father, spiritual father, became the Pope of Alexandria, His Holiness Pope Shenouda III. So the people of the diocese chosen me, and he agreed, and some events happened, so it came to happen that I shifted to the way of being bishop. But I was living in a separate cell in the garden at the border of the desert of the monastery. So I was living in life of solitude. But it came to happen that I lived there only for 9 months. And a great shift happened, because the previous bishop of Damietta was the younger bishop in the Holy Synod. Pope Shenouda requested that I would become a general bishop in the Pentecost of that year, 1972, but I take excuse that I would like to stay in the monastery. But when the bishop of Damietta departed, suddenly he was the youngest bishop in the Holy Synod. Unexpected event. And I am originally from Damietta. So the events came together to bring me to another type of life. The protocol with the Ethiopian Church, for example. Our synod now is about 100 members. Eastern Europe is influenced by the Russian Orthodox Church.